From the skyline of Taipei 101 to the Port of Keelung, we're here in Taipei to examine how the Philippine-Taiwan trade is evolving. From boardroom deals to port operations and maritime training. Welcome to our Taiwan Business Special.
I feel the potential of Philippines is fantastic.
Sabi nga, collaboration is the key now. Kasi we can use their facility with a different standard in every country. Ma-adapt ng mga Pilipino yun.
We are now open for business.
It is a signal to the world. We are open for business.
From the skyline of Taipei 101 to the Port of Keelung, we're here in Taipei to examine how the Philippine-Taiwan trade is evolving. From boardroom deals to port operations and maritime training. Welcome to our Taiwan Business Special.
I was just in Manila a few days ago. I feel the potential of Philippines is fantastic. You have a great potential. If I may say that I feel the security. You need to have more security. Every building we enter, we need to check our bag. And I know the reason, but if this can be improved, that will be better. However, because you have so many islands, then for the tourism, it will be a big potential. But because of security, so you probably hesitate to develop. All the people are hesitate to go. I think this had to be settled.
Do you have specific suggestions on how this can be hurdled based on your experience in different parts of Asia?
As compared to Asia, because this time I also went to Bangkok. Yeah, Bangkok is a very happy city. So in case you can do that, it will be very helpful for you. And from our cooperation with WMOC, I believe cruise will be a very big business for you to develop.
Sir, you mentioned about this partnership with WMOC. What are the prospects of this partnership? What are you looking at in terms of areas to grow in this partnership?
We have a similar problem because in the past, Taiwan has been very strong for cargo ship, but we do not have cruise ship. So this is what we wish to develop. And for this aspect, I feel it will be very good to cooperate with WMOC because the cruise industry is very big. You have like passenger traveling, you have the supply, you have the young talents work opportunity. That the industry is huge. Taiwan is the number 2 cruise market in Asia, just next to China. So Taiwan is a small island.
You mentioned about this opportunity for cruise tourism, the same challenges with WMOC. In terms of volume and value, how big is the potential for this market?
Taiwan, in a year, the cruise ship call is over 450. That means every day we have a cruise ship. Then the population, the passenger population, this year will be over 400,000 passengers. And before the pandemic, it was over 1 million. So now we almost catch up. So this is a very, very potential. And by cruise, you can have a lot of foreign passenger to visit. Every single passenger come to either your place or our place. Their spending is about $80 each per day. So this is a big potential. To travel by cruise ship is the most comfortable mode of travel because on the cruise ship you have everything. So we have a name we call it floating resort. In a resort, everything can have on the ship. So that's why now the people like to travel and this travel by cruise ship, and it's getting more and more. And more importantly, this the age of traveling by cruise ship is getting younger. In the past, it's about 55, but now it's 43. Because the concept of the young people is different. Their concept, in the past, old men, we always try to earn money, but we keep saving. But the young guys, they don't care.
They want more experience.
Yes, even for that, actually to travel by cruise is even cheaper. Because you need to take an airplane, you need to go to the hotel. So everywhere you check in, check out, that's just really bothering. So cruise ship is the most comfortable mode and also cheap mode of travel. You need to follow the trend, right? So they offer like a food and also on the ship, the program, the show. For some of the development is not so difficult, but to find a good cruise ship is difficult because cruise ship is expensive. So how to find a size good for Taiwan and the Philippines? We need to take some time. The others, like we talk in our conference room, we can start from the training of young talent to work on a ship. Taiwan and the Philippines, we will have a big potential, but we need to work together closely. And the message I would like to give the Filipinos, do not forget that this is the most comfortable mode of traveling and also cheap.
How important is Keelung and this cruise tourism for Taiwan?
Port of Keelung is the most important cruise port in Taiwan. Every year we accommodate a lot of cruise ships from maybe North Asia or South Asia. We may accommodate more than 200 cruise ships.
In terms of nationalities, what countries are they coming from?
From Japan, Korea, and Vietnam.
Which ones are the most number of people coming?
The most international passengers from Japan. We see more and more international passengers from overseas. So it actually contributes, the economic development. For example, they will go shopping, they will go some local attractions to maybe spend some money, and then the bus drivers, they will get more incomes. So I think develop the cruise business for any city, for any port is actually very important and very advantageous and beneficial for our country and for our city.
Yes.
Actually, there are many local attractions in Keelung City, and we work with the Keelung City government or the City Hall. They will make some, the brief, and they will cite many local attractions, which is very interesting. I met some passengers from Japan, and then they just asked me where they can go. I I just send them to the information center, and then there are some volunteer workers. They come from Keelung City Hall, and then they will arrange the map for them, and then they just see the attractions, and then just a short walk, maybe 20 minutes walk, 30 minutes walk, and then they can go to the attractions.
How is it to be a Filipino in Taiwan, Ronald?
A Filipino in Taiwan. I've been here for 15 years, and so far things are really very good. I think I've passed the adjustment phase. The only problem I could see as of now really is still the language problem, which is not really much of a barrier now, because if you are living in Taipei, a lot of people also speak English. But other than that, things are doing great here. Yeah.
Now, Ronald, alam naman natin na pag sinabi mong Pilipinas at Taiwan, parang ang laki ng pagkakaiba, di ba? What are the innovations in terms of technology, maybe in terms of modernization? What are the key things that you have seen in Taiwan na you always hope that, you know, our country would also have?
Unang-una, the infrastructure, makikita mo ang daming high-tech buildings. Taiwan is known for its gadgets. Number one manufacturer of microchips, no?
Yes.
Yan yung ating and then also, well, in terms of living, walang traffic dito. I mean, meron, pero compared sa Philippines, di ba? Dito nagrereklamo na yung mga Taiwanese na halimbawa 90 seconds na traffic, it's heavy traffic na sa kanila. Pero sa atin, oras ang binibilang, di ba?
Now, Ronald, di ba, sa ibang bansa, alam mo agad kung saan marami ang Pinoy. Example, in Hong Kong, you know, a lot of our kababayans there work as domestic helpers. In Thailand, I think they're more on the engineering side, professionals. Dito sa Taiwan, ano ang meron yung, I think, I heard that's about 160,000 Filipinos working here in Taiwan. Ano sila?
90% dyan, or maybe 95%, are really working in the factories or as caregivers or as domestic helpers. The rest are yung mga yung mga white-collar jobs na. There are also professors here, there are teachers, a lot of English teachers. There are people also working as engineers also. Pero minimal yan compared doon sa talagang a big bulk of our workers working in the factories. In terms of agriculture, malaki yung technology aspect. So, very high-tech na mga farms sila. They call it smart farms already. Meron silang yung precision agriculture. They practice, madami ang mga farms dito are already being operated by machines, drones. They use ICTs and artificial intelligence in managing their farms. So hindi ko pa yun masyadong nakikita sa ating bansa. Siguro not in the next few years. Although alam ko nagsisimula na rin. Pero still a lot of room for improvement pa tayo bago natin ma-achieve yung ganung state.
Marami na rin pong Pilipino dito. Marami na din pong mga community. Katulad po nung meron po silang ginagawang mga basketball, yung mga league, sumasali po kami sa mga ganon. Tsaka yung ibang event po na, kunwari, meron po silang gathering, sumasali rin po kami. Pero lahat po yun, mga Pinoy na OFW po.
Ano mga karaniwang challenges na na-experience ninyo?
Once na nagkaroon po ng aksidente, o sa company man, o sa labas man ng bahay ninyo, pag na-hospital ka talaga, yung mga pagsubok na walang magbabantay sa'yo, hindi ka pwede bantayan ng kasama mo, kailangan mo talagang mag-survive. Kasi yun po yung kadalasan na pagsubok na dumaraan po sa isang OFW dito po sa Taiwan.
So, pag mga ganun ba, madali lang ba kayo nakakahingi din ng tulong sa gobyerno?
Meron po silang hotline po rito na 1995 po. Pag tumawag po kami doon in case na emergency, yon tatawag din po sila at itatanong po nila kung ano po yung maitutulong po nila. Hindi lang po yung pang-emergency, lalo-lalo na po yung may problema ka sa company, na gusto mo nang lumipat ng company, meron pong problema sa bahay ninyo, yun po yung mga kadalasang pwede mo po ilapit sa kanila, natutulungan pa po nila. Na po-provide po ng MECO po, ng representative po ng Pilipinas dito. Once na tumawag po kami sa kanila, agad po silang sumasagot. Tinatanong po nila kami kung okay lang kami sa company. Tsaka ang kagandahan po nila ay dinadalaw po kami sa company. Tinatanong po kung okay lang ba yung mga Pinoy dito, yung pakikitungo ng mga Taiwanese, kung okay ba yung sitwasyon nyo dito, at yung mga bahay na tinitirahan po namin.
Actually, sir, we have quite limited interaction with Filipinos because we deal mostly with yung mga Taiwan companies po. But when we go to the factories, we also check kung ano po yung kalagayan nila because that's also part of how we approach an integrated trade and investment promotion campaign dito sa Taiwan. And when I get to talk po dun sa mga Filipinos, most of them, they say na they're taken cared for by the Taiwan companies. And in fact, sabi nga po nung isa sa mga na-interview namin na at first daw po, they were trying to, alam niyo yung nagfi-fitness, may barbell sila, na mayroong semento, gumawa sila. Yung ginagawa lang na kasi wala dun sa ano. And then, the owner saw them. After seeing them na, yun nga po, interesado sa fitness and all, the next month, nagpagawa ng gym. Parang sinasabi nila na talagang tinitignan ng malaking respeto ng Taiwan companies yung mga Filipinos because they see their work eh. They see their dedication. Yung mga Filipinos naman po dito, very skilled, talented, and reliable. Kaya po siguro malaki ang respeto kasi we have 160,000 Filipinos po dito. And most of them are working in the manufacturing plants. So, they need talent po kasi rin dito because Taiwan is actually having zero birth. Bumababa po yung population and then we're seeing actually the role of program po on talent development with Taiwan. Kasi like right now, Taiwan is opening up for more talents from the Philippines po. Nag-offer sila ng mga scholarships sa atin and then with the pathways po to employment here in Taiwan. But sinusundan din po natin yon na sana po pagka nagkaroon ng employment dito, since our job is really to attract investment sa atin, what we do is actually kinakapitan po natin ang pathway ng employment dito and then with the manufacturing doon sa atin, yung Pilipino po na nakapagtrabaho na dito can also be taken as one of the employees naman po doon sa pagbalik nila sa Pilipinas when they have their
Mr. Rivera, in terms of volume and value as far as trade and investments, so what's the latest figure or any of the updates that you can provide, especially now that I've seen in our reports, we also look at that trade expo and we see a lot of Taiwanese investors, diba, who are joining Philippine-based expositions in Manila. So, any updates on the trade and investments figures?
For this year, from January to June of this year, Taiwan serves as the 10th largest trading partner for the Philippines, valued at 4.3 billion. And they are the 10th largest source of our imports, valued at 2.5 billion. And they are also the 9th largest export destination for the Philippines, which is valued at 1.8 billion.
And how do you see the trend? Is it increasing for a certain period of time or is it somehow decreased?
What's good here is that we're seeing a very good trend. No? So from our calculations po, from the past 5 years, around 5% increase in terms of exports. So meaning mas po yun, tumataas po yung exports natin, bumababa ng konti yung imports natin din sa kanila.
Pagdating po sa exports, ano po yung mga pangunahing export natin?
Ayun po, 80% of our exports is electronics po.
Wow, yeah.
So, we're part of the global value chain, which is very encouraging po kasi ibig sabihin po, we have a healthy trade with Taiwan. In terms of trade imbalance, hindi po ganun kalaki yung exports at saka imports natin. Actually, very strong ang drive natin and expectation also for investments coming from Taiwan. We've seen in the past years the increasing interest of Taiwanese companies to set up shop in the Philippines, set up their manufacturing facilities in the Philippines for many reasons. Some would be geopolitics. Sometimes it's more profitable and cost efficient for them to have a manufacturing plant in the Philippines. Andun na din po yung mga tao natin. Subok na nila. Actually, hinahanap nila yung mga tao natin pagdating sa manufacturing. We have enabling policies po like the Create More, yung recently po the RA 12252, extending the lease of land to 99 years. Those things, both fiscal and non-fiscal incentives that we offer are a big factor for the Taiwan companies because it gives them predictability that they can sustain their business for long term. And that's how Taiwan companies work naman po kasi for them really ang pinag-uusapan po is yung efficiency at saka yung cost effectiveness ng negosyo combined with yung available talents nga po na meron tayo. Nangyayari po kasi is that they train them here in Taiwan and then they employ them in the Philippines pag naglagay sila ng manufacturing facility. Malaki rin po ang experts natin ng fresh seafood, tsaka po yung mga snack foods. Ang Taiwan po mahilig sa pineapple cake. So, meron po tayong mga importers na nagsosource sa atin. You're talking about like around 80 containers to 120 containers for one season. We're trying to hit the gaps po that we have in the Philippines. One of those is cold chain. So cold chain can support a lot of industries po, and in particular yung agriculture po natin. So we have working closely with the Taiwan Cold Chain Association and with the Philippine Cold Chain Association in promoting technologies po that will improve our cold chain in the country. If you will see around the Taiwan establishments, you'd see how fresh the produce are, and we feel that this technology, given the right environment and the right process and the right business model, will be carried on through sa atin po. Again, there's the drive din po na where we have invited the Taiwan companies to invest also in the Philippines. Wow. So we have some commitments po in terms of cold chain. Ang Cold Chain Association of the Philippines at saka Taiwan Cold Chain Association po ay direksyong nag-uusap on business prospects and opportunities, and we've seen them grow in the past 2 years po.
Do you see Taiwanese firms expanding distribution centers or finishing plants in the Philippines to shorten supply chains? May ganun na bang usapan din?
When you talk about supply chain, sir, iba-iba ng iba-iba ng industriya, no? So, if you're talking about electronics, yes. If you're talking about fast-moving consumer goods, yes, we have. Taiwan's big in terms of manufacturing, So, been successful in bringing some of their technologies in the Philippines, and we continue to do so. We are very positive po in terms of yung mga interest na nakukuha natin ngayon. One of those, like for example, there's Aeromate, yung recently po meron kaming na-assist na company, and they manufacture mga fragrance po. Yung mga nakikita natin na mga nasa kotse from the well-known brands, sila po ang gumagawa. So mostly mga OEM, na sila po yung mga nagma-manufacture behind the well-known brands. Those are brands coming from the US, Europe. Philippine authorities actually considered giving the visa-free privilege to the Taiwanese. Kasama po ito dun sa integrated consideration to drive more tourists po from Taiwan to the Philippines. Will make it easier for more businesses to be able to visit the Philippines and find opportunities for investments also there. They mentioned that from July, that number of tourists from Taiwan has increased in the Philippines. Actually, kasama rin po dito yung consideration na yung mga workers po natin matuto ng standards, aside from language, matuto ng standards from Taiwan. And karamihan po ng mga nag-aaral dito sa Taiwan, coming from the Philippines na taken in as scholars, meron po silang mga Mandarin lessons. So, natututo po sila. And on the other side, ang mga Taiwanese naman po, they have the bilingual by 2030. So, integrated na rin po doon sa mga schools nila, yung English language. So, in terms of yung services po, as I know, they will be opening up soon for the hospitality ang Taiwan. So, they will be taking in more workers po related to hotels, restaurants. But what we're seeing is that, an interactive exchange of people because of yung business po. Malapit po kasi ang Taiwan, malapit po ang Pilipinas. Easy for them to, go back and forth. And yun pong language barrier na yun, I think that's one of the areas that we can also improve from our side. We have proposed also some programs that will allow yung po mga workers natin to learn Mandarin muna dito sa Philippines po before they get to be deployed abroad.
The experience that we had for the past days, we stay here in Taiwan and we visited the Keelung cruise port and even in other area. I really amazed of that area, and maybe we can bring that in our place in Boracay to have a cruise terminal intended only for our cruise ship. At the same time, terminal or passenger terminal for our guests going to the island of Boracay. Even before, when we attended the Expo, Cruise Tourism in the Philippines, and we met with Mr. JP Tseng, and one of the ideas that we want to collaborate is the Taiwan, especially in Kaohsiung, because Kaohsiung is a port of call of all the cruise ship vessels that going to the island of Boracay, even in the Philippines. And that is already a market. And our concept is to have a cross and fly concept for Boracay. And that's why we encourage also our government to give importance to the idea to have a cruise terminal, not only in Boracay but even in Manila. Because the potentiality or the potential that we believe that the government of the Philippines also can build a world-class international cruise ship terminal in our place. And that's why that will be our direction. That in the future, maybe 5 years or 10 years from now, maybe we can compete to other destinations, even in Kota Kinabalu and even in Malaysia also. But of course, the collaboration that we want is between the government of the province of Aklan and the government of Taiwan to have a collaboration when it comes to tourism, cruise tourism in our place, especially in the island of Boracay. When it comes to the income that can be generated from this project, I think it's a big potential, no? And I believe that if we build a terminal building or any facilities that we can accommodate the number of cruise ship and even the size of the cruise ship, well, it will take billions of pesos. But this project is a long-term plan of the government so that the return of investment maybe it's okay. But we are open to have a PPP or public-private partnership and even joint venture for our place, especially in Aklan, that will be an entrance to the island of Boracay. Also, I can give information that Boracay is one of the top destination of the cruise ship in the Philippines. We call that Turkish Triangle. We mean from Manila, Boracay, and Palawan. That is the three destinations that always the cruise ship company as a route for the travel from Hong Kong or Taiwan or going to Singapore, they have to pass this area, especially in the island of Boracay. With a partnership with WMOC, with Ma'am Rachelle, I think Ma'am Rachelle is very eager, wants to help us, and is one of her desire is the Boracay must be a destination for the cruise ship. With a partnership maybe on the future and collaboration with her and her connection, I think kaya po natin gawin yan, no? And I believe Ma'am Rachelle can do it also to help us to find some investor and even the partnership with the government, especially that Rachelle na very already familiar with the island of Boracay. And we are inviting also, of course, the Taiwanese people to come in our place, and that's why I'm happy that maybe by next year they can bring 100 to 200 people just to have a golf event in the island of Boracay at the same time, just to experience what Boracay can offer to them. No, at yun po yung binabantayan natin, and I believe kaya po natin yan. And Miss Rachelle is one factor that she can help us sa ating pong desire. Boracay is still the destination for our tourists, especially here in Taiwan.
Pre-pandemic, mostly people care is cost. Is cost. So you would have luxury tours, you would have like least expensive, you would have like really economy tours, right? But then post-pandemic, people care about more is I'm not saying safety, but more of a custom service, custom in every dimensions. I'm not saying custom expensive, but sometimes people feel like they're not really that comfortable to travel with a lot of people anymore, right? Previously, when people do tour buses, they might feel safe to do a tour bus with like 40 maximum buses. But right now, customers might come and say like, hey, you know what? We want to do travel, but I don't want to be on a 40 people bus, right? I want to do like I want to custom it. I want to do like a 20 people minibus. I want to just do it with people I'm close to, or like I don't want to be with that many people in that close environment for that long period of time. So bus ride is just one, but from a bus ride to all the different components in travel, I think that's a trend that's happening post-pandemic. People start to care more about like environments one. That's why now ESG, right? They would care about like how they contact with people. That's, I think, the biggest lesson we learned, during the pandemic, right? We start to like wear masks and stuff like that. Maybe it's still in Asia. I mean, maybe throughout the whole world, I don't think people are really that conscious anymore. But I do think that trend after pandemic, right? People don't really just look at the cost. They look at what service they're getting. So they would actually pay for the service, or no matter the service from the people, or like the service environment, or like, the whole surrounding. That's what people tend to care more, other than just the price itself.
Number one characteristic of Filipinos, very hardworking. Good in communication skills, they can speak English, diba? Unlike other nationality, medyo hirap sila in terms of communication. Hindi namimili ng trabaho. They are so cooperative, magaling makisama. Yun yung mga characteristic ng mga Pilipino. Tao sa puso nila, talaga yung trabaho nila. Pinapahalagahan nila. Actually, the reason why we had a mutual agreement, Taiwan Association for Cruise Lines, and from the Philippines, it started like 4 years ago, when I was being invited in one of the conferences in cruise development in Taipei. So, dun ko nakita nung I was wondering, they were discussing about the different routes of the cruise lines, no? They don't even mention Philippines. So, I was very eager to ask. So, nag-ask ako na, how come that Philippines not included in your itinerary? And during the time, we were developing the Expo Maritime Philippines. They told us that they are having some challenges in the Philippines, like documentation from the government, and marami silang hindi nagugustuhan. So I spoke to different legislators to have the opportunity to open the roads from the Philippines and offer to other cruise liners. Kasi I do believe na, sabi nga ni President Marcos, di ba, be an ambassador of your own country. So, I take that opportunity na i-market ang Philippines because marami tayong matutulungan eh. Unang-una, makakapagbigay tayo ng maraming trabaho. Not only from Manila, but also in different region, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, di ba? So, marami tayong matutulungan. Magsimula tayo sa mga nagtitinda ng mga souvenirs, sa pier, di ba? And then, yung mga hotels, yung mga maliliit na negosyo doon. Pag maraming turista, maraming trabaho ang para sa Pilipino. Isa sa mga advocacy namin, ng company, ng WMOC, is to see our kababayans, to experience the cruise vacation. Kasi pag sinabi mong cruise vacation, para sa mga kababayan natin na nasa middle class, ay mahal yan. Ito gagawin natin abot kaya para sa mga Pilipino. At maranasan nila yung bakasyon sa cruise na hindi ganun kamahal. Pero mag-i-enjoy sila. Pag sumampa sila ng cruise, mga 2, 3 o 4 na destinasyon kagad ang mapupuntahan nila at hindi nila kailangan lumipad sa ibang bansa para sumakay ng cruise. Dito sa Pilipinas natin gagawin. Na dito sila sasampa at dito rin sila bababa. Yun yung main purpose natin. Why we will invite different cruise liners to have a voyage here in the Philippines. Number 1, ito, abot kaya. Gagawin nating abot kaya. Kasi makakatipid na sila in terms of not paying your airfare. Kasi dito ka na sasampa, 'di ba? And then you're going to have, like for example, mga middle class Filipino, 'di ba? They go to Japan, they are paying like 20,000, 30,000, hotel pa, 'di ba? Wala pang pagkain. Ito, sa cruise libre na yung pagkain. And para kang nasa hotel. Typical, mas maganda pa sa hotel. For example, as low as 30,000 pesos or 30,000, makakalibot ka, ilang lugar ang mapupuntahan mo, 3, 4. At saka, to sawa ang food on board, di ba? Ang ma-experience nila once in their life, di ba, na ma-relax, makita nila yung beauty ng Philippines. Then, magkakaroon kami ng isang magandang destination na meron ding international. Like for example, since that we have a partnership with Taipei Association for Cruise, tutulungan nila tayo na maka-embark. We inspected 2 beautiful ports in Taipei and in Taiwan, which is in Keelung and Kaohsiung. In my experience, the recent cruise tour namin, millennials, couples, families, everybody is welcome for having a cruise vacation. Hindi ito namimili ng edad. Philippines is a gem. But siyempre, we have to consider yung processes natin, yung infrastructure natin. We need the support of Department of Tourism here and also the government itself. Unang-una, infrastructure of cruise ports, di ba? Napaka-importante yan. At saka yung convenient cruise terminals. Nakita naman natin kung gaano kaganda yung mga in-inspect natin, di ba? Hindi man similar to that, but at least conducive sa mga visitors natin, sa mga tourists natin. And I guess it will bring a lot of revenues for the Philippines. Not only Pilipino lang na mga pwedeng makapagbigay ng trabaho and yung negosyo, 'di ba? But also revenue for the government, 'di ba? So kailangan talaga magtulungan tayong lahat from the government, from the president, at saka from DOTR and from PPA na magkaroon tayo ng magandang cruise port para sa mga tourist natin. Kasi sa ngayon, alam ko na there are some projects already na ginagawa nila. But the thing is, iayos natin din yung sistema 'Di ba? Ako, naniniwala ako basta iayos ang sistema, walang magiging problema, marami tayong maiengganyo na kumuha ng destination at pumasok sa Pilipinas. It's very important to be compliant. Trainings, good trainings for STCW based on IMO regulations, 'di ba? So, lahat ng mga Pilipino are compliant. Matindi ang pinagdadaanan nilang training kasi that's one of the major requirements of the ship owner. So, hindi ka nila pwedeng i-dispatch or ipa-on board kung wala kang mga trainings na STCW at saka IMO compliant itong mga training courses na to. Meron tayong mga training facilities dito. Yun lang, siguro, for me, in my own opinion, based sa mga nakikita ko abroad, yung mga maritime training centers sa abroad, pwede rin natin gawin yun to develop a high standard of training. Actually, I'm handling maritime training centers. Napakalaki ng potential. It will benefit both parties, the Philippines and Taiwan. And nakita ko kung gaano kaganda yung facility nila na nakikita ko yung mga Pilipino na magkakaroon ng malaking advantage. Na magagamit nila na makilala tayo globally. Talaga, kilala na tayo globally. But the skills, ang pangarap ko is to upgrade the skills from not only okay na, but for excellence talaga. Especially, we have our own hospitality and training institute, WMOC Training Institute. The aim of our hospitality training is to uplift the ability and the knowledge of our Filipino. Kasi kailangan nila ng modern and new knowledge, which is nakita ko sa Taipei. Nakita ko sa Taiwan. Ma-upgrade talaga ang ability and the knowledge, yung expertise natin. Kasi magaling na tayo Pagagalingin lang natin ng mas magaling pa na pwede tayo makisabay sa mga foreigners like mga puti, mga Americans, di ba? From France, yung mga Frances, di ba? Na ngayon makikita mo na mga Pilipino nag-head na. Hindi lang sa gali, sa kitchen, sa housekeeping ng mga Pilipino. Frontliners, di ba? Magaling tayong magsalita di ba? Kailangan lang natin ng training, proper training, and to boost their self-confidence, di ba? Kaya, napakalaking tulong para sa akin ang Taiwan. Collaboration is very important. Sabi nga, collaboration is the key now. Kasi, we can use their facility to have a partnership with them. Makikita mo hindi naman kailangan na dapat ikaw marami kang ganun. You have at least partnership. And with the different standard in every country, imaginein mo na ma-adapt ng mga Pilipino yun. They can easily adapt to it, di ba? Kaya nandito kami. Kasi we want to bridge the gap from the Filipinos na maranasan nila yung proper training. Yun yung kulang sa atin Sabi ko nga if ever lang I was being blessed of tons of money, I will put one building, lahat puro training facilities. One of my dream before I retire in this industry is to see majority of the Filipinos in a managerial position on board. And a well-known, di ba? We need to develop newbies, tinatawag natin ng mga may level of innocence. Ito yung maganda na talagang pag tinrain mo talaga, they will eat all of you. Parang ganon, di ba? Yun yung kailangan natin na ma-motivate ang mga Filipino. Not only technical training, but also personality development, di ba? Self-confidence. Yun ang kailangan. Katulad ng Taipei, di ba? When we see the school that we visited, nakita mo, there is a donated by. Pero kung makikita mo yung donated by na yon from the government, from a private stakeholder, pero nung pinasok natin, di ba, namangha tayo, yun ang wala sa atin. Modernization. modern facility, upgrading of skills. Wala tayo nun eh. I was very, very disappointed. Nalulungkot ako. Sabi ko nga kung kami, maraming, and billions, trillions of money, I will put up one whole building. Lahat yon to strengthen and to train Filipinos. Kasi nung nakita natin yun, even China Airlines, they donated. Famous Star Hub nandoon, di ba? Different companies, big companies nagdo-donate dun sa school na yun. Bakit hindi natin magawa, di ba? Tayo, andito ang talent eh. Ang kailangan mo lang hasain sila. Pero wala tayong facility. Wala tayong ganung facility. So, sabi ko nga yun yung vision ko. Itong mga first batch ng aming mga estudyante, I will make it sure that they will be having and they will be landing a very good position or good job. Kasi talagang hindi ko titigilan to hanggat hindi ko nakikita sa kanila. Yung sinasabi natin, not only okay na, yung excellence, service, excellence in after-sales service, yun yung kailangan natin. Kasi magaling tayo, galing natin magsalita pero wala tayong capacity for a modernized training. Yan ang unang-unang sasabihin ko sa Presidente. Magpagawa kayo from the government yung support ng isang modernized na training facility that is free of charge. Na walang bayad, everybody can train there. 'Di ba? Nasagot ng gobyerno. Sa flood control, siguro mga ilang branches na yun, 'di ba? At maraming makikinabang. Katulad na lang ng ginagawa natin yung parang nakukuha ng mga estudyante na yung parang binibigay ng DepEd na voucher na 12,000, 13,000 na pagka after ng senior high nila, ibibigay nila yung parang may babawas sa certificate na pwede nilang ibayad. Something like that, di ba? Recently, we had changed our MOU with ACDT, with Mr. Tseng, of course. And we included the exchange students for ship familiarization. We are fixing already the partnership with one of the famous cruise line in Taipei. So we're going to send students there to train. I'm so excited talaga kasi nakita ko yung magiging beneficial sa mga estudyante natin. This Taipei and WMOC partnership will gain a lot of new bloods to be siguro magiging most popular and they will set the trend. Yun yung gusto kong mangyari. Na makita ko sila na nakaka-proud, di ba? Uy, galing sa amin yan. Na, uy, ganito na sila. Di ba? And to have them mold na, ito pang world class. Yun yung tagline ko talaga. I want Filipinos to be the world class in terms of hospitality, in terms of service, world class service from the Filipinos. So, ibang klase. Sabi ko nga, dito hindi tayo mapapahiya. I was very thankful to Mr. Tseng that he opened the doors for the Filipinos. Not for WMOC, but for the Filipinos. Asia to Asia, mas madaling, and mas more convenient for the Filipinos to travel. So, doon pa lang, and the opportunity talagang pinagtagpo talaga na eager silang magkaroon ng partnership with the Philippines and Taipei. So, nag-swak lang talaga. And I can see yung potential ng Taiwan na para sa mga Filipino and for the Philippines.